Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy and delicious keto recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make very easy keto blueberry cream cheese coffee cake. This is so delicious and it is the perfect partner for your cup of coffee or just whenever you want a little light sweet treat, it's perfect. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line an 8 by 8 inch cake pan with parchment paper and allow the paper to hang over the sides just a little bit so that you can easily remove the cake once it's done being baked. In a medium mixer bowl, combine 4 ounces of very soft room temperature cream cheese. You don't want this melted, but you do want it very soft so that it blends in smoothly. Add 2 tablespoons of very soft room temperature butter. Again, you do not want this melted either. You just want it to be very soft so it blends together smoothly. Add 8 grams or around 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract or the extract flavor of your choice. You can adjust this more or less depending on how much of a vanilla flavor you want in your cream cheese layer. Beat on low for about 10 seconds or just until everything starts combining together. Then increase your speed to medium and beat on medium for about 45 seconds to a minute or until everything is fully combined and smooth. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the cream cheese mixture to the center of the bowl. Then turn your mixer onto low speed. Gradually add in about 42 grams or around 1/3 of a cup of the powdered sweetener of your choice. I'm using powdered monk fruit allulose blend. You can use whatever powdered sweetener you want. You can also use a little bit more if you need to, depending on how sweet you want your cream cheese layer and the type of texture you're wanting in your cream cheese layer. For me, 42 grams is perfect. Make sure you just gradually add the sweetener in small amounts at a time. That way it can blend smoothly and you have a nice smooth cream cheese layer. If you need to, you can stop the mixer from time to time and scrape down the sides of the bowl. You want to make sure that all of the powdered sweetener gets mixed in. Once the sweetener is all completely added, then scrape down the sides of the bowl and make sure all the cream cheese mixture is in the center of the bowl. Then beat on medium for about 30 seconds just to make sure that everything is fully combined and you have a completely smooth cream cheese filling. Once the cream cheese layer is all mixed together, then scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the cream cheese mixture to the center of your bowl. Then set the bowl aside for a minute. In a large mixing bowl, combine 119 grams or around 17 tablespoons of coconut flour, 100 grams or around a half cup of the granulated sweetener of your choice. You can adjust this more or less depending on how sweet you want your coffee cake, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 15 grams or around 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and if you want to, you can add some dry spices or seasonings to help balance out any coconut flour taste. Sift the dry ingredients all together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 4 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so they stir in smoothly. Stir the eggs into the dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients are moist. Add a half cup of butter that's been melted and cooled. Make sure it is cooled so you do not have hot butter in there. Stir everything all together until it's fully combined. Add 120 grams or around a half cup of room temperature plain yogurt or sour cream. Again, make sure this is room temperature so it stirs in smoothly. Add 8 grams or around 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You can also change or adjust this extract more or less depending on how much of a vanilla hint you want in your coffee cake. Stir everything all together until everything is fully combined and you have a soft, smooth dough that's formed. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the dough to the center of the bowl. Then form the dough into a ball. Massage the dough ball in your hands just for about 20-30 seconds. This is just to make sure you have the right texture of your dough. Your dough should be very lightly moist and it should be smooth and holding its shape well as you are massaging it. If it feels dry and if it feels like it's not holding its shape or any pieces are falling off as you're massaging the dough, then that means it's a little bit too dry and you need to add a little bit more room temperature milk or water. After you've massaged the dough and you're sure you have the right texture, form it back into a ball, place it back into your mixing bowl. Then use a wooden spoon and break the dough ball up just a little bit. Gradually fold in about 150 grams or around 1 cup of blueberries. Make sure you just fold these in very gently. You do not want to smash the berries. So very gently, very gradually fold it in until all the blueberries have been added and they are evenly distributed throughout the dough. You can also adjust the amount of blueberries. You can put a little bit less or a little bit more in, depending on how much blueberry you want in your coffee cake. Divide your dough into 2 portions. They don't have to be exactly equal, but you want them fairly close to being the same size. Place 1 portion of the dough into your prepared cake pan. Then carefully press the dough evenly throughout the bottom of the cake pan. Make sure you're careful when you are pressing this. You do not want to smash the berries, so lightly push with your fingers or the back of a measuring cup. Keep the portion as even as you can as you're pressing it. Once the dough is pressed evenly throughout the pan, take your bowl with your cream cheese mixture. Drop the cream cheese mixture by tablespoonfuls over the dough that's in the pan. Then use the back of a spoon or a knife and spread the cream cheese layer evenly over the dough. Make sure you get the filling as even as you can. Once the cream cheese layer has been spread, then take the remaining dough and drop the remaining dough by tablespoonfuls over the cream cheese mixture. Then use your fingers or a butter knife and press the dough carefully and evenly over the cream cheese layer. Again, make sure you don't push too hard. You do not want to smash your berries. Try to cover the cream cheese layer as much as you can with the top layer of dough. Also try to make sure that the top layer of dough stays fairly smooth. If you see any cracks or anything, just dampen your fingers a little bit and rub the cracks of the dough out. You want it to be as smooth and as even as you can get it. Once the coffee cake is all put together, you can leave it just as it is and bake it without any streusel topping or anything on it, but personally, I like to put a little bit of a streusel topping on it. So for the streusel topping, set the cake aside for just a second, and in a small bowl, combine 14 grams or around 2 tablespoons of coconut flour and 24 grams or around 2 tablespoons of the brown sugar sweetener of your choice. I'm using brown monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever brown sugar sweetener you want. Use a fork and stir the coconut flour and the sweetener together until it's fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 2 tablespoons of very soft room temperature butter. Again, you do not want this melted, just very soft so it can blend smoothly. Use your fork or your fingers and stir the butter into the dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients have been moistened by the butter. Make sure all of the dry ingredients get moist. It's going to have kind of a little bit of a dough texture once it's all done. Use your fingers and break the topping up into very small pieces and sprinkle the streusel topping evenly over the top of your coffee cake. Once the topping's evenly distributed, place the cake in your preheated oven and bake at 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes or until golden on top and around the edges. Once the cake is done baking, remove it from the oven. It will be soft, but it will firm up as it cools. Allow it to cool in the pan for at least 1 hour so it continue to cook and so it can firm up completely. After an hour and the cake has firmed up, then grasp the overhanging parchment paper and very carefully lift the cake out of the pan and transfer it to a wire rack. Make sure you are being very careful when you do this. This will still be warm, and gluten-free baked goods are always fragile when they are warm, so be careful when you are taking this out and transferring it to the rack. Once it's on the rack, allow it to cool completely before slicing it. After the cake is cooled completely, cut it into your desired size piece. You can eat it immediately. If you do have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 5 days. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.